Hey everyone, welcome to my channel Code with Surya Official. In today's video, we are going to build something really cool, a Netflix movie app section using React and Tailwind CSS. First, we will design an awesome navbar with the Netflix logo on the left, some menu items in the center, and a sleek search bar on the right. Then right below the navbar, we will add a beautiful hero section that will feature a movie banner, title and description. Finally, we will create a watch trailer button that will trigger a movie pop-up when clicked. This site is fully responsive, so it will look great on any device. Let's quickly show on mobile device. You can see here also this looks absolutely awesome. When I click this watch trailer button, then it will open up a movie trailer pop-up here as well. This is the awesome project that we are going to build today. If you are new to this channel, then please do like, share and subscribe to my channel. And if you are ready, then let's get started. Now I am in the Visual Studio Code Editor. I already created a folder, name is movie app. Inside this folder, I am going to create our React application. Let's open up a new terminal. And here I am going to write npx create React app space dot press enter. So it will generate a React application inside this movie app folder. Let's wait for a couple of seconds. So you can see our React application creation is done. So let's run this project. So for that need to write npm start press enter. So this is the React interface. Okay. So let's go back to the Visual Studio Code Editor and first need to close this terminal and let's expand this src folder and let's open up this app.js component. Okay. So first step is I need to rename its extension from .js to JSX and let me remove this entire code and let's generate a fresh component. So for that need to write rfc press enter, so it will generate this component boilerplate. Okay. So in this project we are going to use Tailwind CSS, but I am not going to show you Tailwind CSS installation part. So for that, check out my video on how to install and configure Tailwind CSS in React project. The link is available in the description box below. So let's quickly search Tailwind CDN. So for that, need to write tailwindcss.com. So this is the official website for Tailwind. So let's click this Get Started button. And from there, I am going to click this Play CDN tab. And if I come down, so here we have this script tag. So just copy this script tag and let's go back to the Visual Studio Code Editor. Let's expand this public folder and after that open up this index.html file and after this link tag I need to paste it here. Save it and now you can see Tailwind CSS CDN has been linked in our application. So let's close this index.html file and let's close this side window as well. So let me zoom it so you can see easily. So let's write our HTML structure. So for that need to create a class for this div and here main height is screen and background color is till 500. So save it and check it in the browser. So you can see background color has been applied in the screen. But instead of this background color, I need to put a background image here. So for that need to remove this bg color and let's write a style tag here. And inside this style tag need to write background image. And our background image is need to write tilde URL and inside this URL I am going to show our background image. So for that I already put some images and video folder, okay, which contains some image file and a video file. So let's import it in the top. So for that need to write import bg image from /images/mulanbg.png. Okay, so let's copy this bg image and paste it here. So let's save it and check it in the browser. So here it is. But you can see here our background image is repeating. So for that I need to write here in the class bg is cover and bg is in the center. So save it and check it in the browser. So this looks absolutely awesome. So our background image is fixed. So the next step is I am going to put an overlay effect in the top. So for that, let's go back to the Visual Studio Code editor and let's remove this app text. And inside that, I am going to create another div. And here, class is position is absolute. Put a bg gradient here. So bg gradient to right from black to black/30, and let's put g index is 10. So save it and check it in the browser. So the overlay effect is not applied in the screen. So for that I need to write here inset is 0. So save it and check it in the browser. So you can see our overlay effect is applied in the screen. Okay, so this is fine. Now I am going to create our navbar in the top. So for that, let's go back to the Visual Studio Code editor, and after this div, I am going to create another div, and inside this div, I am going to create our navbar. So for that, let's create a navbar component inside this src folder. Let's write components slash navbar.jsx. Press enter. So you can see our navbar component is created inside this components folder. So let's write rfc, press enter. So it will generate this component boilerplate. And let's go back to the app.js component. And inside this div, I'm going to use it here, navbar. Okay. So it is automatically imported in the top. Okay, so save it and let's open up this navbar.jsx component and start writing our Tailwind classes. So first need to delete this div, and instead of this div need to create a nav tag here, and inside this nav tag I am going to create our logo image here. So for that need to write img press enter, so it will generate this image tag. So let's import our logo image in the top. So for that need to write import logo from // images / logo.png. So let's copy this logo and use it here. Okay, and the alternate text also logo. So save it and check it in the browser. So here it is. But you can observe here our overlay effect is in the top and below our logo image. So for that, let's go back to the Visual Studio Code editor and let's open up this app.jsx component and let's create a class for this div. Position is relative, g index is 20. So save it and check it in the browser. So now our logo image is looking good, but our logo image is too big. So for that I need to fix its height and width. So let's open up this navbar.jsx component and let's create a class for this image, and width is 12 rem. So save it and check it in the browser. So now this looks absolutely awesome. So the next step is we need to create our menu list in the middle of the snap bar. Okay. So for that, let's go back to the Visual Studio Code editor. So after this image, let's create our menu list. So for that, need to write a comment menu list, and after this comment, need to create a div, and inside this div I am going to create our menu items. For that need to write a into 5, press enter, so it will generate 5 anchor tag. Okay, so let's do it quickly. So the first menu item is home, second one is TV shows, movies, latest, and the last one is my list. Okay, so save it and check it in the browser. So here it is. Okay, let's create a class for this div. So let's put a color for this menu item. So text color is white. So save it and check it in the browser. So here it is. So this looks fine, but if you can notice here, our menu items are attached to each other. So for that need to put some gap here. So for that need to go back to the Visual Studio Code editor and let's write space x is 6 and font weight is semi bold. So save it and check it in the browser. So here it is. So this looks absolutely awesome. When we hover over these menu items, then the text color should be changed to red color. So for that, need to create a class for this anchor tag, when we hover over this menu items, then the text color is changed to red 500. So save it and check it in the browser. So you can see if I hover over this menu items, then the text color is changed into red color. So if you can notice here, our logo image is in the top and below we have this menu list, but I need to put it in the same line. So for that, let's go back to the Visual Studio Code editor and we have this nav tag. So let's create a class for this nav tag. So display is flex, items is center. Now it is coming in the same line, but I need to put some gap here. So for that, need to write justify is between. Okay, so save it and check it in the browser. So now it is coming in the right corner. But I need to put this menu list in the middle and need to create a search bar in the right. So for that, let's go back to the Visual Studio Code editor. After this menu list, I need to create a search box here. Okay, so for that, first need to write a comment, search box, and below this comment I need to create a div, and inside this div I am going to create a input box here. So save it and check it in the browser. So here it is. So let's create a class for this input box, and here px is 4, py is 2, rounded is md. So need to put a border, and the border color is white color. So save it and check it in the browser. So here it is. But when I click this input box, then you can see the outline is coming. So for that, I need to remove that outline. So outline is none. So save it and check it in the browser. So now you can see if I click, there is no outline. I need to put a placeholder here. So for that, need to write a placeholder, and the placeholder is search. So save it and check it in the browser. So here it is. I need to put some blur effect for this search box. Go back to the Visual Studio Code editor, and after this outline none, BG opacity is 20, backdrop blur is MD, and let's put px is 10. So save it and check it in the browser. So here it is. So you can see we have this blur effect, but I need to change this placeholder colors to white color. So for that, need to write here placeholder color is white color. So save it and check it in the browser. So now we can see the placeholder color is white color, but whenever we are going to write here, text is in the black color, but I need to put it as a white color. So for that, so let's create a class for this div, and let's write text color is white color. So save it and check it in the browser. Then you can see if I write anything here, then the text color should be changed to white color. This looks fine, but I need to put a search icon here. Okay, so for that I am going to use font awesome cdn. So let's search for font awesome cdn. So let's click this first link. This is the official website for font awesome cdn. So let's click this copy link tag, and let's go back to the Visual Studio Code editor, and let's open up this public folder. So inside this public folder, we have this index.html file. So after this link tag, I am going to paste it here. Font awesome CDN has been linked in our application. So let's close this index.html file, and let's close this sidebar as well. And again, let's go back to the browser. So here I need to search font awesome library. So let's click this first link, and this is the official documentation. So from there I am going to click this icon menu, and here I need to search. So it will display this magnifying glass. So let's click this magnifying glass. So it will open up a pop-up. So let's copy this code snippet, and let's go back to the Visual Studio Code editor, and after this input I need to paste it here. So save it and check it in the browser. So you can see this is our search icon, but I need to put this search icon to here. Okay, so for that, let's go back to the Visual Studio Code editor. Let's write here position is absolute. So this I tag is absolute, so I need to put it is parent class as a relative. Okay, so next I need to write here left is 3, top is 1 by 2, transform minus translate y of 1 by 2. So save it and check it in the browser. So here it is. But if you notice here, the search icon and this placeholder is not in the same line. Okay. So for that, I need to write here, display is flex and items is center and need to put space x is 2. So save it and check it in the browser. So now you can see this looks absolutely awesome. So our neighbor is done. So let's check for the mobile screen as well. So for that, if I change its width, then you can see our neighbor is not looking good. Okay, so for that, I need to fix this first. So let's go back to the Visual Studio Code Editor. Here in the top, we have this navbar. So I need to write here, flex direction is column for the mobile screen, and for the medium screen, flex direction is row. So save it and check it in the browser. So if you can notice here, there is no gap for this logo and menu list and this search bar. Okay, so for that I need to write here gap is 6. So save it and check it in the browser. So this looks absolutely awesome. So the mobile view also, our menu bar is fixed. So the next step is I am going to put some gap from left hand side and right hand side. Okay, so for that let's go back to the VS Code. Let's open up this app.jsx component and here I am going to put mx is 14, padding top 10. Okay, so save it and check it in the browser. So this looks absolutely awesome. So our neighbor is done. So let's target for our hero section. So for that, let's go back to the Visual Studio Code Editor and let's create a hero section component. So hero section dot jsx RFC press enter. So it will generate this component boilerplate. So let's import it here. So after this neighbor, I am going to use hero section. Let's close this navbar and let's close this sidebar as well and let's open up this hero section. Let's remove this hero section text and inside this div I am going to create another div and inside this div I am going to show our title image. So for that need to write img press enter, so it will generate this image tag. So let's import title image. So for that need to write import title image from /images/mulan_title.png. So let's remove this double quote and put a curly bracket and paste it here and the alternate text also title image. So save it and check it in the browser. So here it is. So this title image is too big, so I need to reduce its height and width. So for that, let's go back to the VS Code and let's create a class for this image. So width is full for the mobile screen and for the medium screen, width is 1 by 5. So save it and check it in the browser. So this looks fine. Okay. So below this title image, I need to show the movie release date and movie watch time and the movie type. So for that, let's go back to the Visual Studio Code Editor. I am going to create another div and inside this div, let's create another div and inside this div, I am going to show our movie release year. So for that, let's write a p tag and inside this p tag 2020. The movie release date is 2020. After that, let's create a span tag and let's put a pipe symbol. Okay. So let's copy this p tag and span tag and paste it for another 2 times. So the next one is 18 plus and the movie watch time is 1 hour 56 minutes. So let's create another p tag and the movie type is action. So let's create a class for this div and text color is gray 400 and font weight is semi bold and display is flex, items is center and let's put a gap here. So gap is 2. So save it and check it in the browser. So this looks fine. Okay, but I need to put some background color for this 18 plus. Okay, so for that let's go back to the VS Code and let's create a class for this p tag. Background color is bg red 800 and px is 2 and text is white. So save it and check it in the browser. So this looks fine. So below this, we need to put some description about this movie. So for that, so let's create a p tag below this div and let's write lorem 40, press enter. So let's create a class for this p tag and text is LG and margin bottom is 4, width is full for the mobile screen and for the medium screen width is 1 by 3 and margin top is 2. So save it and check it in the browser. So next need to change its font color. So for that let's go back to the VS Code and let's go back to the parent div. So let's create a class for this parent div. So the text color is white color. Save it and check it in the browser. So this looks fine. Okay. But you can notice here our title image description is showing in the top. Okay. But I need to put it in the middle. So for that, let's go back to the VS Code and let's write here display is flex and flex direction is column and the gap is 3. Margin top is 3 for the mobile screen and for the medium screen margin top is 24 and py is 4 and g index is 20. Px is 10 for the mobile screen and for the medium screen px is 0. So save it and check it in the browser. So this looks absolutely awesome. So below this description, I am going to show two buttons. Okay, so for that, let's go back to the VS Code and below this div, I am going to create another div and inside this div, I am going to show the buttons. So let's create a button component here. So let's write button.jsx. So let's create our component boilerplate. For that, need to write RFC press enter. So it will generate this component boilerplate. So let's import it here, button. So save it and check it in the browser. So here is the button. So let's quickly do styling for this button. So for that, let's go back to the VS Code and let's open up this button.jsx component. I am going to remove this div and instead of this div, need to create a button tag here. And let's write here my list. Let's create a class and the class is px is 4 and py is 2 and it should be uppercase and font weight is semi bold and width is fit and cursor is pointer. But I need two different buttons. So let's pass some props to this button. So text is play. Let's put a class. So class name is bgred 800. So let's put an event here. So the event is on click event. So as of now there is no click event. So let's put it as a empty arrow function. Okay, so let's close this sidebar. So let's go inside this button and need to destructure the props. So the first one is text, second one is class name, third one is on click event. Okay, so instead of this my list, I need to show the text here. So save it and check it in the browser. So here you can see play button is coming. Okay, but here if you notice there is no background color. Okay, so for that, so need to remove this double quote and instead of that need to write curly bracket tilde and in the last tilde curly bracket. So inside this I am going to write this profs. So the profs is class name. So save it and check it in the browser. Now you can see our background color is applied for this button. So the next step is I need to put a icon here. So for that let's search for a plus icon. So let's click this plus icon. So let's copy this code snippet and let's go back to the VS Code and here I am going to pass another profs and the profs is icon. So we need to pass the icon here. So for that, if you see here, we have this FA plus class. Okay. So for that, just copy this class and paste it here. So let's use this icon in the button component. So if icon is there, then it will display. So let's copy this code snippet and paste it here. And instead of this FA plus, we need to put dynamically. Okay. So let's remove this double quote. Again put curly bracket tilde and here also tilt curly bracket. So need to remove this fa plus, and here let's put this icon. So save it and check it in the browser. So you can see our plus icon is coming here. Okay, so this looks fine. But here the problem is, if you can notice here, this plus icon and this text is attached to each other. So for that need to put some gap here. So the margin right is 2. So save it and check it in the browser. So this looks absolutely awesome. Okay, so the next step is we need to put another button here. So for that we need to copy this button and paste it here. But instead of this bg color, I am going to put a border here. For that need to write border, and border color is gray 800, and if we hover over this, then the background color changes to red 800. So save it and check it in the browser. So here it is. But there is no gap for these two buttons. So for that, let's create a class for this div. Let's write display is flex and gap is 2. So save it and check it in the browser. So this looks absolutely awesome. But here I did a mistake. It should be a my list button. Okay. So let's change the text to my list. Okay, so save it and check it in the browser. So here it is. But you can see here the border is not displaying. So for that let's check. So I did a typo here. So save it and check it in the browser. So now this looks absolutely awesome. So if I hover over this button, then you can see this hover effect. But I need to put a play icon for this play button. So for that, let's search for a play icon here. So this is the play icon. So let's click this play icon. So it will open up a pop-up. It is FA play. So let's write here FA play. So save it and check it in the browser. Then you can see our play icon is applied in the play button. So this button also done. And the last step is we need to create a trailer button here. And if we click this trailer, then it will display our movie trailer. Okay, so for that, let's go back to the VS Code. And below this div, I am going to create another div. And inside this div, I am going to put an image here. So for that, img press enter. So it will generate this image tag. So let's import the image here. So let's write import play from images play.png. So let's go back to the code, and here in the src let's write play. So save it and check it in the browser. So here is the play icon, but need to write the text here, and the text is watch trailer. So for that, let's go back to the VS Code, and here below this image tag need to create a button. So for that, again need to import our button component, and here need to pass the profs. So the text is watch trailer. So save it and check it in the browser. Watch trailer text is showing in the below. So let's fix this first. So for that, need to create a class for this parent div, and here display is flex, gap is 2, and margin top is 12. Okay, so save it and check it in the browser. So this looks absolutely awesome. But if you can notice here, if I hover over these buttons, then this cursor is not changed to pointer. So for that, let's check for the button component. Here it is a typo, and check it in the browser. So this looks fine. Now this cursor is changed to pointer. The last step is when I click this watch trailer button, so it will display the movie trailer. Okay, so for that, let's go back to the VS Code and let's create a component, and the component name is video modal .jsx. Okay, so let's write rfc press enter. So it will generate this component boilerplate. So remove this video modal text, and inside this div need to create another div, and inside this div need to create a button here, and the button text is x mark. It is just a close button, and below this button I am going to create a video tag here. The property is control, and the next property is autoplay, and need to create a class, and the class name is width is full and rounded is md, and let's put a style tag here. Max height is 80vh. So let's create a source tag for this video tag. So for that, need to write here source, and here src is we need to import in the top. Import trailer video from dot slash video slash trailer dot mp4. So let's copy this trailer video and paste it here. Next, we need to write here the type. Type is video slash mp4. Let's create a state for this video model component. So let's go back to the hero section component, and here I need to create a state variable. Const show video comma set show video equal to use state, and by default it is false. Use this video model in the hero section. So for that, after this div, I am going to use this video model here. So it is a typo. So let's rename this component. So it is video model. I am going to pass this state variable. So for that, need to write a profs. So the profs is show video, and it should be show video. Set show video equal to set show video. Okay. So save it, and let's open up this video model component. Here need to restructure fast. So for that, need to write show video comma set show video. Let's write a condition here. If it is not show video, then return null. So save it and check it in the browser. So you can see there is no video model. But when I click this watch trailer button, then it will show the video model. Okay. So for that, let's go back to the VS Code, and let's open up this hero section. So here in the button component, I am going to write a onClick event. So onClick, and the function name is handle watch trailer. So let's create this function first. So const handle watch trailer, and here need to set the state. So set show video is true. So if I click this watch trailer, okay, so it is not working. So I think I forgot to use the profs in the button component. So let's check in the button component. Here you can see. So I forgot this onClick event here. So for that, I need to write onClick is onClick. So save it and check it in the browser. So here if I click this watch trailer, pop-up is coming here. Okay, so this is not looking good. So I need to fix this model first. So for that, let's open up this video model component.jsx. Let's open up this video model component. We have this parent div. So let's create a class, and position is fixed, inset is 0, and background color is black, display is flex, justify is center, and items also center, and g index is 50. So here it is, but this is too small, so need to fix it width first. So let's create a class for this below div, and here position is relative, and width is 4x5 for this mobile screen, and for the medium screen width should be 3x4. So save it and check it in the browser. So this looks absolutely awesome, but I need to put this close icon in the right hand side. So for that need to create a class for this button. Position is absolute, and minus top is 6, and minus right also 6. Text is 3xl, and cursor is pointer. To save it and check it in the browser. So if I click this cross button or this close button, then this pop-up will be closed. So for that, need to create a onClick event here. So need to write here onClick, need to set the state. So set show video is false. So save it and check it in the browser. So when I click this close button, then you can see it is gone. So you can see here our trailer video is not working. So let's check it first. So here, so SRC is trailer video and type it video slash mp4. Okay, I did a typo here. It should be video. Okay, so save it and check it in the browser. So when I click this watch trailer button, then you can see the pop-up is displayed and our trailer video is playing. Okay, so this looks absolutely awesome. So if I click this close button, then the pop-up is gone. Again, if I click this watch trailer, again it will display. So you can change the full screen as well. So let's check it for the mobile screen as well. So here also this looks absolutely awesome. If I click this watch trailer button, so here also the movie trailer is playing. Okay. So this is all about this video. If you found this video helpful, then please give it a thumbs up. It really motivates me. Also don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Code with Surya Official. Till then, keep smiling and happy coding. See you in the next video.